When I first started working in the industry, when I was working with makeup artists, they would either cover my freckles completely, which made me feel like they weren't something worth showing or worth appreciating, but also I would get comments like, oh, you have a dirty face, or like your face looks dirty, or like things like that that were kind of weird side digs, which I don't think was professional in any way, shape, or form, but also me being a people pleaser new in the industry, I just kind of went along with what people would say. Here's the thing about the Hispanic community or Latinx community is it's very, very diverse. So it's, you know, we all look completely different. But I think with my background, because I'm Mexican and Puerto Rican, I don't know how common freckles are in that region. I just know my dad is covered head to toe everywhere, and he's 100% Mexican. I don't think it's very common, I guess, or maybe it wasn't seen as much in the industry given like how little the Latin community is represented. I do think that a racial component slightly had a part to play, because that's also something that people would tell me growing up regardless, in terms of racial slurs, in terms of being dirty and other slurs that I guess I won't really say on camera, but things like that. Yeah, I think that they probably weren't used to working with somebody. And that was another thing too, being on set, like nobody ever knew how to do my makeup. And I didn't think it was that hard, but I guess just because my skin has a lot of different undertones, I was never happy with the way I looked on camera growing up, because it was like way too dark or way too light, or, you know, nothing ever really matched it was really, really strange time. It's funny because now we're in a time where people are drawing on their freckles and, oh, freckles are so cute and freckles are so this, but it took me a really long time to kind of, I don't know, come to terms with the fact that they're on my face for good, and that's it. I think anybody who has darker hair knows that mustache hairs, they'll pop up. So I don't wax, I use like a cream bleach. When I first started, I didn't have to do it that often. Like I'll do it once every few months, but now it's become a thing where it's like once every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe once every month, I guess. But because I'm being constantly filmed and on camera and things like that, I think sometimes I get self-conscious about that. So it's like, as much as I could stay on top of it, I will. So I did get my wisdom teeth taken out when I was 17, and I didn't want to go under. I stayed awake. They just numbed my mouth pretty much, and it was crazy because where I was laying, there was like a mirror right above me, so I could see what was happening in my mouth. So I just put my headphones on. I watched it because I'm weird. And then I remember there's one part too when he was, the orthodontist was on my last tooth, and he was like, do you think you need more numbing, you know, medicine? I was like, no, I'm good. He's like, all right. And he cracked the tooth, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we were like, yeah, maybe we'll put some more of that numbing stuff. But after that, it was fine. As somebody who struggles with anxiety and depression and spends a lot of time alone, lives in a lonely city, I do work pretty hard. And it's weird to like give myself that or admit that, because I don't know, I think I perceive myself very differently than family and friends may perceive myself. But when it comes to taking care of myself mentally, I think that that's something I still struggle with to this day, because I find myself being one of those people who's never truly satisfied, where it's like, you know, I'm working a ton and I'm telling myself, I just need a break, I need time to myself, I need to see my family and friends. But then when I spend time with my family and friends and I'm not working, then I'm freaking out because, man, when am I gonna work again? And when am I gonna be creative again and make a piece of art? I think that even if I may not feel I need a break and I want to keep going and I want to keep pushing myself, I think it is really important that when you're struggling like that, or are having trouble expressing yourself or finding yourself, or, you know, just feeling very lost, even though it's kind of scary to confront yourself during these breaks and get to know yourself better, even if you don't want to, I think it's essential and necessary. And while it may be a scary thing, I think in the end it will be very beneficial. So I personally am still working through that phase where it's like, what do I like? What do I not like? How can I feel more fulfilled in this sense? Is there another way I could express myself creatively that I would enjoy and would give me just as much happiness? I don't know. You kind of got to find what works for you. And I